Hi guys, it's your boy Gadget Man 404 here, and this is what happens when your Zino battery goes under 15%. Now when I come out with this battery it was only at 45% to start with, so I flew it the other day, didn't flatten it down. I thought I'm not going to charge it from halfway, so there's somewhere that's got quite a big lot of space, but there is also a heavy Wi-Fi area around here. It does this with my bebop, it does disconnect around about 100 odd meters away. I did manage to get more than 100 meters, but it does disconnect. I am the other side of some trees, so later on in the video I'll explain what happens. Now there's a new housing estate going up, sort of outside Chellaston. It's sort of near Alston, sort of on the outskirts of Alston Castle area of Derby. And what I wanted to do, because they haven't finished building, so it's still a housing development, I was around about 250 feet high, and I was going to fly over and then just come back just to flatten out the battery. That's all I intended to do with this flight today. But just watch what happens. Now I am about, like I say, 250 feet, and then I've just come past 15%, or I'm just at 15%, tries to return to home. I cancel the return to home. But then I look at my screen and I notice that the height is coming down. And it's going from 200 to 100 to 150, etc, etc. And I'm thinking, what's going on? But when I look at the actual icon on the phone screen, it's saying it's returning to home. It's that part of the icon that is flashing when you do return to home. It gets down to as low as around about 5 feet when I decide to give it throttle, cancel the return to home, although it's not returning to home, and then give it throttle. So at 15% and under, it will do its last return to home. You go under 15%, it does not return to home because it isn't an intelligent battery, but what it tries to do is an auto land. But the icon that's flashing, it's your return to home icon. When you go to cancel the return to home icon, it actually says cancel auto landing. So you just say yes. As soon as you cancel it and let go of the throttle, it starts to descend again. So at this point I'm probably around about 13%, and I'm trying to find my location because I was looking down. Obviously I'm in a field to my right from here, and I'm just trying to find myself so I can actually fly back. But then at this point I get an aircraft disconnect happens, and my screen is frozen, and as I'm pushing forward, the drone reconnects briefly and then starts going away from me. But I didn't see this. I wish I got this on the screenshot if I was doing a screen recording. You don't see this on the screen. It's so much lagged out that it was showing me as I was low down on the floor, so I didn't actually know at this point where it was going, what was happening. So I run from that tree line in the field to the right of where I am. I'm now going higher to try and find me. You can just make out I'm in that dark green field to the right, pretty much the right corner. I've got about 8% to 7% battery life, and as you let go, if you let go of the throttle, it's actually descending. I'm just using my drone to try and find me now. That's why I've decided to go up. Basically, you go below 10%, guys, and you are far away. Your drone is not going to make it back. It will not do return to home. You can press return to home because I did, and it just does a land. You go to cancel the return to home, the bit that's flashing, and it says do you want to cancel the auto land, and you can say yes or no. Very, very highly populated Wi-Fi area, so it wasn't the best place to fly with it being a Wi-Fi enabled drone, but I did get better range than my bebop, granted, But yeah, be careful guys. Do not fly it a long distance, and if you are flying it quite some distance away and at 15% it tries to come home, let it, because if you go past 15% to 10% and below, it won't do return to home, and then you've lost your drone. Gadget Man 404 out.
Thanks for watching Gadget Man's 404's channel.